back. In this episode, we're going to be talking about affordable watches that this guy, and myself do recommend in buying, collecting, or potentially looking at.
Pretty little thing living like to count, cause mama, I'm sure hard to hell now, yes around.
And we are on. It was only a matter of time since us three friends, colleagues, and watchers. You want me to pull out a joke, so
Bravo.
So, no, I'm not going to tell you a joke.
Come on, please.
I forgot them all.
Oh, Ellie. Okay, can I'll tell you one.
I need to pull my phone, and then I'll remember one, and then
You had
I'll
like
do the...
watch-themed jokes. I've got a non-watch-themed joke. You ready?
Okay, then fine, do it.
By the way, if you have any sort of aversion or allergy to dad jokes, please just mute this bit. Why are Saturday and Sunday the strongest days?
No idea.
But he's going to tell us.
Because all the rest are weekdays.
Thanks, Dad.
So now we need to smile and say, hi!
Oh, come on. That was pretty...
What a great way to open the show.
Amazing. So now we've
Eleanor,
lost half of the audience. So in order to get it all back, today we're going to be talking about affordable watches that us, watch nerds, watch geeks, and watch collectors truly respect, but also tend to collect on their own, not on a weekly basis, but they could.
Yeah.
So, and I think when we started drafting that topic and we started thinking about this episode, I think in affordable watches, obviously you need to define what affordable means, because what can be affordable to one isn't to the other. So I kind of want to split it into the bargain watches and the actual affordable ones. So let's start with the bargain watches. Watches under 1,000, which are generally cool, watch nerds, watch everything. What was the first one you got?
Well, it's a cool watch.
As a cool watch, a bargain watch.
I think we need to define bargain, affordable.
There we go again. The definition of the definition.
No, because there is a difference of getting a bargain watch and wearing it.
That is true.
You can go like, wow, it's only 600 something. I'm going to get that. And you get it, you unwrap it, go like, yeah, meh. So you leave it in the drawer. See, I've done that. Of course, I've done that several times. But looking at this table, there are definitely a few that I would buy and I would wear a lot.
Yeah.
So what are you wearing on your wrist, Kristian?
What a
Please
segue.
tell us.
This is my Donna Summer. No, actually, it's the Disco Volante.
It is.
With a green dial. I mean, I just put it on my wrist. And it went, with my
That
Landro
combo.
Defender.
Please pay attention to the side of the bracelet where he twisted it just on purpose so that the natural gemstone
precious
kind of
stones,
match the dial.
The dial.
of this Furlan
Look at that. That's why I'm wearing this bracelet. So I can turn it to whatever
That
color
little
the
girl.
dial, huh?
This little girl,
Yeah.
you have just been lost in that watch since it went on you.
Yes, I have.
You've
He
already
basically
taken
stole it from
photos. You then airdrop me a photo. I'm like, dude, I don't, thank you. But like, you just did the whole Hagen thing on the watch.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, brands, watchmakers, if you want to know what Kristian, if you want to know when you've hit him, skewered him with your watch.
You know you have a camera right here, right? You don't need to be next to me. I know you like me very much, but you have your own.
What can I say? Guilty. Watchmakers, if you're wondering, did our watch get Kristian's attention? Did he really like it? If I could have just filmed what happened when that went on your wrist, this is what happens. We just disappear. We are no longer even in the room with him.
True.
He lost his mind. He started taking pictures. He's twisting his gemstones around. He's losing his mind. There you go. You put that on too. So that's what Kristian's wearing, the Disco Volante. But turn it over. Have you seen the movement?
Look, the thing is, I'm going to continue where I just lost everybody here in my rant on this great one. I don't even know how to open it.
Okay.
That's great.
We'll be back in 25 minutes, folks.
No, the thing is, and this is also what makes an affordable watch differ from, an expensive watch.
Okay. What?
I don't think we would enjoy it in the same manner as you are so surprised. I was surprised. I've seen this before.
Mm-hmm. Have you held it?
Yeah. I went to the studio last summer, and but we were in such a rush. We had to deliver an award. That I noticed it. I took a few pictures, but having the time. having the time
Time
to
and space.
try it on.
In a relaxed moment.
It wasn't relaxed. Everybody had to go to the toilet, and it was a bit rushy. We travel afar to get to the studio.
That's true. That's true.
So we were a little stressed coming here today, back in London. But I don't know. How do you explain love? How do you explain? Because falling in
How much
love.
time do we have, Ellie?
No, listen.
Kristian, sit down with us.
Falling in love
Says the man who
is
never got married.
a bit about insanity.
True. Yeah,
Right?
It is. It's irrational. It's wordless.
Remember when you met Fiona?
Yes,
You
I do.
couldn't sleep. You couldn't eat.
How do you know that?
Oh, she told me. Anyway,
I wish
so
that happened.
we can't define love. Explain why you fall in love. You
Ellie
can't
just
explain
said
why.
She wishes she could fall in love because then she'd lose a few pounds. That's
No, that's not what I said. I said that when I fell in
Hi,
love,
Lois.
I wish I had lost.
You went straight to the happy in love part where you're eating Ben's cookies.
Ben's
By the
cookies,
way,
look at that.
Ben's cookies.
Advertising. Advertising.
We are in London, and I just had my first Ben's cookie.
Which is an orgasmic piece of cookie.
Wow, we're just going to continue on where we left off a few seconds ago. You're going to try and get yourself in the good books now. These cookies are freaking amazing, and we are sugar rushing right now because I had a matcha cookie, I had half a dark chocolate cookie,
Matcha latte.
I had a little bit of a coconut cookie. What did you have?
I had matcha, coconut, and milk chocolate. Just to be
Oy,
precise,
yeah.
not one full of each, just a bits here and there.
I had
Yes.
nothing. I had a disco volante.
Okay, let's go back to the
That's
actual
what's left.
topic.
This is carnage. This is not a
Affordable.
pretty food shot.
Affordable versus bargain watches. The thing you should take into consideration, the thing you should consider, the thing you probably bought, and the one that you're considering buying. We were on the Furlan Marri. I think we made it clear that, especially the Disco Volante, but when Andrew Furlan actually came out with Furlan Marri, he shocked the entire industry, collecting family, whatever you call it, because he came out with a watch that, yes, was a Mechaquartz, but it was a 600 Swiss francs, dollars, euros, whatever, that just looked like a super cool watch. And I think he's the one who opened the door to, it's not because it's cheap that you wouldn't wear it. And I think, maybe I'm mistaken, but I think it's probably the first watch that all the collectors who have millions on their safe can proudly pull this one off on their wrist to a collecting dinner.
I went to see the Geneva Salon, the Patek Philippe. I'm not going to mention any names. I'm just going to mention the Patek Philippe Salon in Geneva, which I frequent while I'm there to get the free champagne. Okay?
Yeah.
I do like free stuff. So I was following the gentleman up to the first floor, and I was looking at his wrist, like, wow, he's wearing a 1461 Patek vintage.
Exactly
And I was
what you're talking
so
about.
I sat with him, and I was like, wow. Did you visit a certain auction house recently? Like, no, it's a Furlan Marri. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
He's representing
It is
the OG.
It's like a Patek collector's London safe watch.
Being in London.
Yeah. And actually, I just
legit.
got a ping from the shop, meaning a shop order, and I tell you what,
So he just made money?
one out of 3 sales is we just sold a Serica. 1 out of 3
Thank you for
sales
sharing.
is a Mechaquartz Furlan Marri.
There you go.
Bing, bing, bing.
There you go.
They sell all day, every day, because collectors look at them and think, what's that sticker that says my other car is or my, that sticker you put on the back of your like Toyota Corolla, my other car is a 911.
No, I don't
It's
do
a
that.
bit, anyway.
I don't
Furlan
need to. I
Marri, a
drive a
fantastic,
Defender.
affordable option, and will absolutely get respect from watch snobs.
Yeah. Well, they also got a little heat. You have to imagine that
For what?
for looking too much as a vintage Patek Philippe chronograph.
With some references, not all of them.
Well, the later references were later. So I think the first models were definitely, they got a little heat.
Yeah.
But they also got a lot of respect for the extreme detailing.
This I want to pick up on.
Yeah.
I didn't really get it for a while.
Okay.
Simply because I saw those references, and again, I immediately just thought, Patek, mid-century Patek. And then I sat down with Andrew Furlan in Bandepaki when it was this iconic part of Geneva. It's like a fondue restaurant, and it's amazing. You're out there in the lake. And in winter, when the inclement weather comes in, you're out there and the wind's
You can
howling.
go and take a dip, and then
You can take a dip,
But-
but then there's fires, like open fires. It's a fantastic spot. And I was sitting with him, and he sat next to me, and this was really in the early days. And he desperately wanted me to understand the difficulties that they've had in getting those corners to bash, the cow horn lugs, the two finishings. They have a razor sharp mirrored finish, and then a brushed top of the cow horn. And he said this, he was trying to explain to me, showing a three-dimensional model of the lugs, how hard it was for them to achieve this effect. And it was at that moment that I was like, you're the real deal. You really care. And you're showing me a detail that I now, every time I see a Furlan Marri with those corners to bash lugs. And customers come in just saying, where are the cow horn ones? I'm like, oh yeah, you must mean this Furlan Marri for £550. Come on over, bang. Job done. But that was the moment I just thought, yes, there are some codes and some certainly some dial inspiration. That there's clearly an inspiration
everybody
point.
takes inspiration from everything.
Yes,
We cannot reinvent
but
the wheel.
he is 100% adding. It's called a palimpsest when you have lots and lots of layers of like gig posters on a wall. You know how you peel them off and you see all the layers? There's lots of layers on top of that original inspiration, and that's where the respect comes from. But then also they've moved into things like the Volante. They're continuing to evolve. There's the Hunter Caseback 4th year anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
So long story is, until you really begin to look at what the layers he's added to that inspiration, then you begin to realize that, no, he is contributing, and they are contributing to an interpretation as opposed to a straight up revival theft.
And he's also reacting to the reality of the market with everything that we mentioned here and there between primes and availability and pricing and collecting this and that. When he just introduced this last Watches and Wonders, the first feminine timepiece with baguette diamond indexes, which are lab grown. And it's just, everything is consistent and everything is coherent in what he does, I think.
I consider Baltic Furlan Marri Studio Underdog Ward to be like the Rolex Cartier Omega of that next wave. I think he's in there. That you can't. What do you think, Kristian? Is that a you're full of shit, or is that a yes, I agree?
I think you should don't bogart the cookies, man.
I'll give
You're
you
high
some
in sugar,
cookies.
dude.
I'm high on sugar, dude.
So tell us what you have on your wrist. Speaking of sugar.
Yeah, let's go back to the subject.
What's on my wrist is a watch that I feel like I'm high when I look at. This is the Toledano Chan B1 lapis lazuli dial.
That one made a lot of noise.
This one made a lot, and you can see why I don't even need to talk about it. But I do need to twist my wrist, because until you see this in dimensions, when you look at it flat like that, it's a straight up Midas. Like, it is a Midas when you look at it.
It's a Rolex
top
Midas,
down.
yeah.
But then you twist it and your mind starts to go, woo. What we're going to discover in all these brands is that all of their founders and designers are obsessed with details. And that carries on, in this case, all the way down to...
Look at that. Looks like concrete. There's a brutalist design going through these, even though the Midas, the Rolex Midas, definitely was a model for this one.
Like the end.
100%. But then
he's incredibly cool.
You know how the Midas is really slim? He's again highlighting the thick volumes of this. It's super chunky and thick, and that immediately makes it not like a Midas. And in fact, it is exactly like the window that inspired it on the Brewer Building in New York. So I'm wearing this just because we're talking about probably collectible watches that are not really, really out of the realms. Can you just
take it back into the screen and tell me what's up, what's down?
No. I can tell you.
Is the lapis dial, which you probably know or don't know that in the next couple of years you will not be finding lapis on jewelry or watches.
Why?
So one of the reason is obviously you're putting it upside down.
It's meant to be. It's a destro.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the main reasons, well, first of all, in this lapis, you can see some of the like yellow golden nuggets inside the stone, which is lapis is an ornamental stone. This is the pyrite. And this rare quality of lapis is harder and harder to find, but generally speaking, mines of lapis are being closed down, shut down, and the majority of them, and that's something we can't really say out loud, but because here we can talk about everything, I will say it. The mines are being
Jewelry
held by Talibans.
Right.
Oh.
Yes, most of them, which is why, because of all the traceability and transparency, brands have
We
a
can't buy
hard
from
time
Taliban.
supplying themselves with lapis because they cannot negotiate with Taliban, which kind of makes sense. But that's the problem, is most of the mines are being held and located in those regions of the world. So, which is why lapis is becoming harder and harder to get.
Well, actually, so this is the show where Eleanor proves she's the bigger brain of the three of us.
Exactly. This is your geopolitical segment. No, that is.
No, but
that's actually really
the
fascinating.
point is,
It is.
when you
I
look
had
at
no idea.
Cartier
I feel like this is
vintage,
going to get more expensive now. So
That's the National Geographic knowledge right there.
when you look at Cartier was a big brand using a lot of lapis beads and a lot of lapis in a lot of their jewelry, but now it's like coral. It's becoming harder and harder. It's like there's a lot of gemstones, but that's a segment we can get into later because I can speak for hours. But speaking of ornamental stone,
Yes.
I'm currently wearing a tiger's eye dial on a Dennison watch, and you were just mentioning Emmanuel Guet a couple of minutes ago.
He was.
He was, or you were?
Well, we both love him, so we could have said
Because
it.
you had
I always talk
you
about it.
pronounced the name in such a bizarre way that I couldn't figure out if it were
What,
you.
Manu?
Emmanuel Guet.
Get.
Manu.
Manu.
Yeah. Hi, Emmanuel.
How you doing, brother?
And he's the one who kind of relaunched the whole Dennison brand, and to a price that is most than quite
insane.
affordable. And it's
Oh,
so new that we still have some plastic on, but that's
this
fine. We
is
don't want
shop
it
stock.
scratched.
Yeah. Oh my God! Look at that.
But tiger's eye, it's the
moly.
beauty of it, where you can never have twice the same dial. Like most ornamental stone that you have on watch dials, by the way.
Yeah.
This one is very intriguing because you've got like lines, almost like layers
Yeah.
with like different shades of ochre, which is like a pale brown.
Okay. Yeah.
But please tell us the story behind the brand. You were just about to say that.
No, the funny thing is, if you... Well, we're in London.
Yeah.
Dennison is a British
brand.
They
Case
used to
maker.
do cases for Rolex, for instance.
mhm.
But when
Beautiful since
I was
1874.
with a different watch brand recently. Actually, I brought my children. They were the company, the Maison were very polite, and they invited my children. Anyway, they were looking at my watch. So on the first dinner, they were like, "Kristian, are you wearing a vintage Piaget?" I go like, "It's funny you ask," because Manu's dad, he used to work the Piaget, and he did a lot of stone dial watches
Yep.
with matching jewelry.
He's the
Yes.
first one who did rainbow
So
watches.
I asked Manu,
menu.
did you look into your dad's sketchbook a bit when you did this? But it's so good. I actually own the very same model without the plastic on because it's a privately owned
Guys,
timepiece.
come on. A great
But
My dad
this
did too. My
took
dad
me
would
by
want to.
storm. But then again, coming back to the conversation we had on Furlan Marri is, it looks like something we knew was already there, except we forgot.
Yeah.
So this is a gentle reminder of reintroducing elegance that is otherworldly, if you like.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing a stone dial like that, a vintage Piaget would be 5-digit
Yeah.
with a tiger's eye dial.
And this is 650 pounds. So Stepan and Emmanuel have disrupted,
Yep.
I would say, a part of the industry
Uh-huh.
that do elegant dress watches at that price. And frankly, I have to say, there seems to be no one calling any harm or foul here. This is just a democratization of a really cool part of watchmaking, and it comes at or a really cool part of design. And having Emmanuel's name tied to it just gives it kind of that, can't really mess with him.
No, you
his,
can't.
His dad designed the 1979 Polo. Emmanuel himself designed the offshore and the Cellini. Dennison is, I think, absolutely going to get you a curious look and potentially a question and a nod from someone that loves watches, because it is red hot too right now. It is very much, its time is now. How do they go? How does the progression go? They just did an LE with collectability. I think that there's, it'll be interesting to see how the brand progresses. But right now, and this is the thing about small brands and micro brands, they can hit the market so quickly. Like the supply chain is so fast that you can go from ideation or idea to concept to production to market in record time.
Oh.
And that means you can sort of be in the zone when you hit the zone.
Yeah, but you still have a lot of brand. Like we mentioned a lot of names, but we didn't even mention Awake or B&D watches. All these guys who, yes, created a great product, very affordable, but didn't quite hit the market the same way that all these guys did.
Because they're not 600 pounds.
Well, guys, okay, here's the thing.
900.
Here's the thing.
Some of them are 900, some of them are 1,200, but still.
So what makes the
B&D
winners?
is 600 or 750.
So who wins and who loses? Why?
No, hang on. We started talking about affordable watches.
Yeah.
Toledo is not necessarily affordable. This is 2,500.
This is not affordable.
Okay, so-
this
Yeah,
isn't.
but the Mechaquartz are
this was
600.
This was
true.
just a wrist
But
check.
it's not on the table. Okay.
So yeah, so we did the Mechaquartz for you.
Yeah.
We did the Dennison for you. This is not meant to be part of the group. I brought my watches here.
So you're a cheater.
No, this is just what I'm wearing today.
You're the bad student. Yeah, right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we keep going.
Okay.
Then if we go up the ladder of all these affordable, what we find affordable in the lexicon of what watch collecting item, which are ticking some boxes on so many standpoints, we have some Nomos, we have some Underdog. I want to talk about Oris. I want to talk about all these guys.
I want to go back to the basics of like Casio 9F1W, the classic
numbers.
Casio.
And we're back in the
But you
reference
know,
game.
yeah, no, the iconic Casio, always going to get people to go, yeah, okay, fair. I feel. Do you agree?
I love Casio.
Mhm.
I mean, I dedicated a full chapter on G-Shocks.
Yeah, I was going to say G-Shock way too.
G-Shock
You
also.
press the button and you could read the time in the
No, but
darkness.
Back then, when I was a kid, that was the thing. That was the iPhone.
Yeah.
That was
There's a nostalgia component, and
Yeah,
somehow
absolutely.
like there's a pop culture component. So definitely Casio and G-Shock, absolutely.
Yeah.
The other one is, to me, the biggest of all. What is the most respectable, affordable brand by far?
What?
No. Seiko. I thought if I met Kristian and I don't have my game with me, because by this time I'd sold my Panerai, remember? I had a Panerai before, but then I had to circle back and think, well, I need to wear something that's going to get people's respect, but I don't have the money anymore. Or I decided that was not for me. So I went into Seiko land and I got I didn't get one in the end, an SKX 007 or an SKX 009.
Reference
No, this is
That's
the
the
Pepsi
turtles.
bezel, the Pepsi bezel turtle. Is there a more fail-safe watch to get you the respect without having to spend the cash?
Why didn't you just keep the Panerai?
Oh my! That was such an Old Spice man. Why didn't he just keep the Panerai?
No, back to me. Back to
Anyway,
you.
I'm
What
on my
about
white horse in jean shorts.
Defender.
Anyway.
in my jorts?
Defender.
I'm just trying to imagine him on a horse in jorts.
Defender, half naked,
Yeah.
2 wristwatch, flipping the bracelet on the right side
And me
of the
running
watch
along going,
dial.
Kristian, I got a Seiko.
Jorts are not half naked. Those are really short.
I know.
Jeans.
When you can see the inside of the pocket coming down under the leg, that's when you've gone too short. That's a side point. Is
What?
not that's
short.
So I'm told. Can we just talk Seiko? I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to
But you
bring them
did.
in. But I did. But how do you feel about Seiko and Casio?
Actually, don't know much about it.
Have you ever had a Seiko in your life? A Casio?
I think I did.
You've had a G-Shock, a baby G.
I had the blue one and I had the pink one.
You definitely did.
It was right
Great.
before the Cartier and right after the Flick Flack
Oh, the gateway, the bridge.
bridge.
All right.
When I was wearing sneakers with wheels underneath, and I could just like slide like
God.
this with lights at the back, and I felt like the coolest kid.
years old when you were in the
I can actually just picture that way too easily.
The problem is that I was not the coolest kid because I was a redhead, so I was kind of bullied until I was 15. So I had to play my game around
Yeah,
that.
exactly. I get it. We do
Yeah.
what we can with what we got. Kristian, have you ever had a Casio or a Seiko? How many? What have you had?
Oh, dude, I've had the
trading
tuna box, the tuna can, that super large. No, was that a citizen?
No, tuna. That's a Seiko tuna, the big tuna can with the cutout on the side.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a
Exactly.
Seiko.
I had
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That was really expensive. That was in my early days where big watches were in.
Yeah.
Panerais, for instance. And I
Okay.
bought it as a fun watch, and I realized there was a lot of respect around that one.
Yeah.
I just bought it because it was fun and big.
Mm.
I've had so many G-Shocks. I don't know the reference numbers of that,
Mm.
but I think the G-Shock is probably the best watch ever made. And Should we jump right into?
I just heard the air conditioning for like 15 seconds after you said that.
No, it is. It is because we did in the show before this show. Talk about
Yes, right
is
now
it
we're kind of
complicated?
talking about nostalgia. We're trying to give out to the audience something tangible that they can actually relate to.
Kristian would respect you in a
Hearing your
G-Shock.
childhood stories
No,
like grandpa's, 'cause
no.
I cannot even relate. I'm like sitting here listening to you, and I'm like, okay, what's your point? Like, if I want to get an affordable watch, what should I get?
That's fair.
I think everybody who collects watches should have at least one Casio
You
G-Shock.
got your revenge there. Okay, there you go.
What did you
Everyone, if you're looking
Nothing
for
there.
an affordable watch that gets respect from Kristian in your collection,
Yeah.
and by the way, we should do collection roasts. That would be fun if people send in their collections and we look at them. But if you want respect from Kristian, a G-Shock in there is necessary. So, would you still have your pink and your blue baby G somewhere? Where would they be? Landfill or?
No idea.
Okay, interesting.
Can I just remind you about the full
Probably
metal
box
ones?
somewhere where I keep all my old stuff.
I think they'll still be there. I've still got an Eco Drive. What did you say?
What about
Remember the bebop?
the Casio G-Shock full metal?
Oh,
I mean,
love
come
that.
on.
I love the one with the scarred metal, the
No,
worn metal.
remember back in the Basel World days, they had
We've lost her again.
a full
Grandpa and grandma
gold
meeting
one.
together.
A full gold one. They made one piece only. I mean, it was so
Yes.
heavy. It did a world
I know who
tour,
bought it.
right?
I know who bought it.
Was it for sale?
Eric Koo bought it. Eric
Did
Koo
he?
bought a solid gold G-Shock for real. We're going to find some B-roll of that. It is so badass. It weighs like 400 grams. Anyway,
Wow.
Eric, join us in the
Good on
comments
you, man.
below. You and Eric would go way back, I'm sure. Back to you, Ellie.
So I was starting to talk about other brands. Like, for example, you didn't talk about this watch, which I think made a huge comeback last year.
It did, yeah. It's sort of not. It's a bit of a bitter pill for most now because it's so we've people idiots like us that got really excited about it drove the prices up immediately. But I did pay a stupid price for this. I paid £550. I paid Dennison money
For a plastic
for
watch.
a plastic watch. And as it turns out, I was very fortunate because I chose the one colorway that's actually very, very, very hard to get. This is one of the rarest ones. There's only 2 of these in the manufacturer at Le Chaux de Fonds. But I brought this because, Kristian, you sometimes hijack the challenges by dropping in a vintage. And I'm thinking, hey, you're going to spend £1,000, under £1,000 to get respect from people and curiosity from a collector. This is a good one.
I love the Formula One. I really do. This is the OG, of course, not the new Solograph, which is
Yeah.
slightly bigger.
It's bigger and much more expensive.
But I think that me being my age, if you dig deep enough into your drawers, you will find a Heuer Formula One.
Do you mean your pants?
They were that popular. And mind you, I traded.
By the way.
He's 47, 48.
Very simple mind. Like
You're 47?
drawers as in your pants. Like man digging into your. Anyway, you could find one in your pants.
Yeah. No, the thing is, I had a red one, red dial, red plastic strap. I traded it for fake Rolex Submariner. I did take it apart and I took a black marker and I took out the Rolex logo.
Forever.
So there was this fashion store in my birth town, and he was like crazy about my fake Rolex Submariner. They go like, I'll trade with your red Tag Heuer Formula One.
Do you know what?
I loved that watch.
Do you know what I'm loving most about Kristian on this show?
How fake he was.
His endless career-limiting moves that he's just putting on the public record. Usually, and I'm not going to name names, when I do anything on the record, people just turn so uninteresting. You actually get more interesting. I love that. I love that for you, man. I love the end of your Rolex career, thanks to our show.
That was a fun run. Thank you.
You had a good run. Bye. I do want to give shout out to Nomos and its beautiful Bauhaus style. This is a watch that a lot of people, this is one of the first mechanical watches that I would say people engage with that are well finished well enough for you to actually like this particular finishing on the mainspring barrel is done by one person at Nomos. That's their one job, is to get that that swirling kind of solarization effect. And then, of course, you can't not mention Underdog at the moment. It's probably the world's most affordable collectible watch. So I brought in the Gimlet, which is a watch that Richard did with Fears that has this amazing gradient loom dial. So there's lots of ways to play with Because it's not just about a good watch for the price. It's how do I get a taste of that like collectability culture, the limited edition culture? And that's where, you know, again, at the underdog level, you're going to buy something that's rare and that potentially that Jean customer or the person in the boutique just goes, you know.
But it's funny with Studio Underdog because I've been that guy at the light pulp, you know, one leg up, smoking a cigarette, go like, yeah, that's kind of interesting, man. And then the most recent campaign where he copied the replicas of his brand.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, how clever is Richard? I love it. What a great campaign. I love it.
What do you think of Underdog? Because you've gone quiet again, and you can't claim we're grandpas because this is not.
No, it's true, but it's when I was at Revolution, I remember we did, and Wei actually for his wedding did a limited edition for his best man with like a pink dial because it was the theme of the wedding. But
A pink dial what?
The pink dial of the watch.
Of Studio Underdog?
Yeah.
Right.
And I've seen basically the because I'm not a particular, I don't know the brand very well, but what comes to mind is like those really cool, modern, funky, colorful watches. And when you know me, you know, I'm like a very colorful person. I love colors.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the brand that I had a hard time placing because I remember seeing like pizza slices on a dial, but then I remember a collaboration they did with Moser. And I'm like, where is this brand going? Like it's kind of all over the place, but it's an interesting brand that I think is not getting as much attention as they deserve to the broader public.
Yeah.
Very much so. And I was mentioning this early on with Oris. I think it's an understated brand when you think about it. It's an integrated manufacturer. They only do automatic movements. They don't have a single quartz movement. And all us three, we love the brand very much. We've been to all the launches and we are really fond of their watches. And they're not expensive watches, but they're great quality watches.
Mm-hmm.
I beg to differ.
Okay.
When I was a kid, I had a pointer date.
Ooh.
That was my first Oris.
It's very old man stuff.
I was like 14 or something, right?
You were like a little grandpa.
And I fell in love. With the pointer date. And then again, I bought the Kermit and the first Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
See, when Rolf Studer, the co-CEO of Oris, he introduced the pinkish dial, ProPilot X, I was like, that's not salmon dial. It looks like pig skin.
Mm. Oh, I remember. This was a burn. He got upset.
Rolf, you know. But we talked about that a lot.
Happy ending, but it was a
And so I purchased both.
You have a Miss Piggy?
And I changed the date wheel. So in my salmon dial ProPilot X, Kermit is the first day of the month.
That's cool. That's cool.
So I kind of made them come together in a different watch, right?
You did.
That's a little infant of the two Orises of Disney. Is it Disney?
I don't even know.
Yes, it was a
right. Yeah, because they came up with a Miss Piggy.
I see.
34 millimeters with a lab-grown diamond at 12.
I was one of the 6 ambassadors of the brand.
You carried that little Miss Piggy thing.
I skied with
Miss Piggy
did.
Yes,
for
you
like
did.
a full day.
Yeah.
Let's play a fun game.
Okay.
Let's line up these watches, least to most popular,
I
least
thought
to most
we're
expensive.
actually going to play a game.
Oh, no, we will. We'll get to that. This has been emotional. I think we should line them up. Like most expensive at the moment, I think this is about 2,700. I think. How much is the Nomos? Let's have a guess. This is 1,500. Okay. So maybe that's or 1,700. This was 1,000. This was 650. That would. This is I bought this for 550.
550, right?
550. So look, all of these watches, and again, if we put Casio, like a Phantom Casio's way down here. Casio's like
you'd put a Mechaquartz
$20.
or Furlan Marri here.
You put a Mechaquartz Furlan Marri here.
Yeah.
And then you put a G-Shock and a Casio. Actually, Casio's first. That's the cheapest. That's like $20. And then I think your G-Shock, your entry level G-Shock.
$20?
Yeah. It's so cheap.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's going to buy like 200.
And then there's Orion. Orion's in the equation as well. If you've got an Orient, that's another good watch.
That's what I should get for like the wedding.
The groom's party, or the wedding. A watch for everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you going to invite us then?
I can send one because I have to thank you for the idea. I'm not stealing.
Well, it's not my idea. It's your idea, darling.
Yeah, but you were there, so you're like you're all witnessing this.
That would be
Not only clever,
amazing.
very
That
fair
could be
she is
fun.
as well.
But I
And
would
you
have to
can modify it in
customize
some
it.
way.
I don't think I have time.
Do you have any ideas to modify Ellie's wedding party watch? It's Casio F9 1Ws. I just
You better put this video up real fast because I'm getting married and real soon.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's going to be like I'm an excellent driver and I count cards.
So this is
Not
our
like a
lineup.
real game.
So basically, from $20 all the way through to $2.5, we've got you covered with your affordable watches that are going to get our attention at the very least. We can't speak for all snobs and experts and collectors, but certainly from us, practically every one of these watches would get you to come up and say hi, right? Is that true? What haven't we mentioned? The only one we haven't mentioned is Serica. Serica is a brand that, for me, when people come into the studio,
Very niche though.
it's niche.
Yeah.
It's if you're post Furlan Marri and post Baltic and post Underdog, you're the next thing you look at is Serica.
It's a French brand.
It's a French
They
brand.
have HQ in Paris, right?
They do.
Absolutely.
And I find that what they've done, again, it's like a remix. He's a big music dude, and it's very
God, I
appropriate.
like this.
It's hot, man.
Come
It's
on.
called it's an Serica Diver 5303. All of the watches are chronometer certified, so you're getting super high end. You're getting accurate movements. That looks just so you.
look at
What
that.
he's done is he's remixed all the classic codes, like the Freccione, one of the watches you love.
Yes.
The unusual indices with the line. This is another fantastic brand. But here's our lineup of starting points, if this is a starting blocks, all the way from $20 up.
Now the real question is, which one's your favorite? Because we only
Let's
talked about
choose them.
those.
Let's choose them.
But Dennison comes in so many like dial colors. Same with the tag.
Well, let's pick
same
a
with
favorite.
all
You
of
start,
those.
Christian. Do you want to go from this side to this? Which one are you choosing off this lineup?
Well, we know what he's going to choose. He stole it at the very
It's
beginning.
true.
no,
it's true.
I'm the older guy here. I would still.
Wow.
The Formula One
That's
is
hitting you in the-
so cool.
in the
Yeah, it's
nostalgia.
right there. I was like 14, 15 years old, right?
Ellie, what about you? If you had to choose one, the Volante. Oh my God, you are
This
so happy
girl
you didn't
lady.
take it. Oh
mean, look
lordy
at that.
lord!
Show the green.
How is it that it doesn't look too small for Christian, but it looks too small for you?
They have a big wrist. I don't know.
Could be. That looks great. Wow, that silenced the room. That's rare.
No, but actually, when you say that, once in a while, when
Once
we go
in a
in a
while.
while,
What is he doing?
when we go to the
Wow.
watch fairs, right? You start whispering like, "Oh, this is so."
I've heard you do that a lot.
Right, Marcus?
Yeah. Yeah.
You go like, "Wow, look at this." It's like I don't know. It's automatically. I'm like
I'm
in
not a
awe.
movement guy. I'm pretty sure that's a hand
Me neither.
movement.
Like
So
they
it's
spend
finished.
hours doing this.
It's
like,
it's an
what are you
elaborate
looking at?
movement. So that it's an elaborate grade. So they've actually got a finished movement in this as well.
You know, I pretend to do the same
Same
thing
way.
where I spend hours looking at the window like,
Meanwhile, you're thinking, where's the battery in that?
I couldn't care less.
Out of milk. I need to do a washing. Out of washing. My choice out of here, I am going to go the Serica. The Serica is a watch that when people come in and they sort of look a bit aimless in the store and they're just kind of walking around just feeling a bit lost, I'm like, hey, do you want to come and twist a bezel? And usually they're just like, that's unusual for you to say that. But I just get them to come over and do this. And they do this and I see them
very
just like,
ASMR.
where's the mic?
Very much.
Yeah.
The micro.
Are you ready, people? Yeah. Don't say I didn't warn you.
There was the orgasm of the Ben Spooky, and then there is the orgasm of the clicking of the bezel.
Okay.
No, it's actually, now I understand what you're saying. It's just the way when you feel like the velvet touch of when you touch it and then you turn it.
But the
Not just the
reassurance,
clicking.
the
Because you don't feel the clicking.
tolerance is so tight, and there's a rubberiness to it. Like it doesn't feel ticky.
See?
But no, it should be in the hand, Christian. It should be in the ear. Do you feel that? Hey, do you own a Rolex GMT Master 2? You know how when you turn the bezel, it's got that rubbery, super,
Click, 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 click.
but it's got the boom, boom, little rubber feel. This has unbelievable bezel action.
IWC Porsche Design Ocean 2000 has that.
Does it?
Yeah, you
I'd
push it down a
expect
little
that to
bit.
be ticky. No, it's still
gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for joining us on amsr.com.
And now we're going to play an
Now we're gonna play
actual
a game.
At some point, when all seriousness, where we actually get the solid part of what we actually want to share with you, what we talk about, we're going to move on to a game. And this is a cards game, but it's a fun one. If you ever heard of Cards Against Humanity, that guy alongside with his team, kind of reworked the rules on the watch side of things. So, pick one.
Okay.
And I'll pick one.
Who's
Do you
up?
want to start?
Well, you know, it's having the cards and never having seen the card before. You know, you have to start thinking. I like to say that once in a while we come well prepared for these shows. And this, my card says a conversation I've had about watches I will never forget. And I'm sorry, that was the show I did with you and Marcus back in the days where I told you, you know, I once scratched my girlfriend's back with my Patek, and in the morning she was like, "Babe, you scratched my back with a Patek." But then again, it was a Patek, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a strange conversation. I told you in front of the camera.
You did.
Like, why did I even bother telling you that? But anyway, that was a very strange
Because you're
conversation.
Christian Hagen?
That was not
That's
even a
total
conversation.
Christian
It was a
move.
monologue.
I wish I've never seen this watch. I am going to say I wish I never saw your Elegance. Because it's re-fired me up on that Elegance.
Even with pink
Yes.
inserts and diamonds?
The diamonds, no, but the pink and grey is smoking. But as recently as seeing your Elegant, that was one. Now I'm like, oh God, I'd forgotten about that watch. I love the one that Watch Gringa has. It's got the olive strap and the titanium and then the luminous dial. There's some beautiful variants out there. And you're absolutely right. It's like, can we just let the women have one watch without coming in and stomping all over?
Well, it's already too late.
It's too late. We
But we'll get into this thing later.
Yeah.
I think I have to pay another tribute to this man on my left because the watch book I would recommend is pretty much any book signed by Kristian Hagen.
Well,
Signed or written?
Both.
Thank you, Eleonor. That's
Because technically
awfully nice
speaking, I
of
don't
you.
really know how to read, but I know how to spell out your name, so
I
just
appreciate
recommend
it.
his.
That's so sweet. They're all
That-
sold out, though.
Well, I'm sure you can keep the hard copy that you can do a dédicace special just for me.
Probably. Oh, for you? Of
Yeah,
course I can.
100%.
Breakfast on me as well.
Well, guys, I think that was a fun one until the next one. And we are looking very much forward to reading your comments, your questions, your remarks, and not pointing out all the stupid stuff we've been saying out loud.
Pretty little thing, let me like to count, cause mama, I'm sure hard to hell and I yes around.